Streetlights flickered, casting long, dancing shadows. The night was eerily quiet. The only sound was the hum of the streetlights.
I hugged my jacket tighter, the night air biting cold. The wind howled, cutting through my clothes like a knife. Each step echoed on the empty sidewalk, a lonely sound in the vast emptiness. The city felt deserted, as if I was the only one left. A shiver ran down my spine. Someone was watching me. I could feel eyes on me, hidden in the shadows.
I quickened my pace, heart thudding in my chest. The faster I walked, the louder my heartbeat seemed to get. Just paranoia, I told myself. But the hairs on the back of my neck prickled with unease. Every instinct screamed at me to run. Every rustle of leaves, every distant car engine sent a jolt of fear through me. The night was alive with unseen threats. The darkness seemed to press in, suffocating. It felt like the shadows were closing in, trying to swallow me whole.
I risked a glance over my shoulder. Nothing. Just the empty street behind me. But the feeling of being watched wouldn't go away. Just the empty street, bathed in the sickly yellow glow of the streetlights. The light seemed to make the shadows even darker. But the feeling of being watched persisted, a heavy weight on my chest. It was like a presence, unseen, but felt. I had to get home, fast. The safety of my home felt miles away, and every step felt like a struggle against the darkness. My keys rattled in the lock. I stumbled through the doorway, slamming the door shut behind me. Leaning against the door, I took a deep breath. Safe.
The silence of the house was almost deafening. I flipped on the lights, the sudden brightness momentarily blinding. My house, usually so welcoming, felt different, colder. The feeling of unease returned, crawling beneath my skin like 1,000 tiny insects.
I walked through the house, checking locks, peering into darkened corners. Everything seemed in order.
But the silence was unsettling, broken only by the pounding of my own heart. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong, very wrong. The phone rang, shattering the quiet. I jumped, my heart leaping into my throat. It was only Sarah, my best friend. Her voice, usually so cheerful, sounded strained, worried.
Did you get home okay?
Why wouldn't I be?
I asked, trying to sound casual, but my voice trembled.
I saw someone watching you as you left school today. Someone with the strangest eyes.
I hung up the phone, my blood turning to ice. It wasn't just my imagination. Someone had been watching me, and they were still out there, but who were they? And what did they want?
The house creaked and groaned around me, the sounds amplified in the silence. Every step I took seemed to echo through the empty rooms, each creak of the floorboard sending shivers down my spine. I tried to focus on something else, anything else, but fear had me in its grip. My mind raced, conjuring images of what might be lurking in the shadows, unseen but ever present. Then I heard it. A soft whisper coming from the shadows at the end of the hall. It was barely audible, like a breath against my ear, but it was there, unmistakable. My breath caught in my throat. I strained to listen, every sense on high alert. The silence was oppressive, broken only by the faint, eerie whispers that seemed to come from all around me. There it was again, a faint rustling sound like someone or something moving just out of sight. The shadows seemed to shift and dance, playing tricks on my eyes. The whispers grew louder, swirling around me, taunting me. They seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere, a disembodied chorus that chilled me to the bone. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to face whatever was lurking in the shadows. Summoning all my courage, I decided to confront the source of my fear. Grabbing a heavy bookend from the shelf, I crept towards the hallway, my heart pounding a frantic rhythm against my ribs. Each step felt like an eternity, the whispers growing louder with every inch I moved closer. The whispers reached a fever pitch as I neared the end of the hallway. They seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere, echoing off the walls and filling my mind with dread. My hand trembled as I reached for the light switch. The cold metal felt like ice against my skin, and I hesitated, fearing what the light might reveal. The hallway flooded with light, revealing nothing. Just the same empty corridor I had walked down countless times before. Just the empty hallway, silent and still. The whispers had stopped, leaving an eerie silence in their wake. I let out a shaky breath, relief washing over me. My heart was still pounding, but at least the immediate threat seemed to be gone. It was just my imagination. I had let my fears get the better of me, conjuring up horrors that didn't exist. I was just being paranoid. Or so I tried to convince myself, even as a nagging doubt lingered in the back of my mind. As I turned to leave, I saw it. A fleeting shadow. A movement that shouldn't have been there. My reflection in the hallway mirror. But something was off. Something that made my skin crawl. But it wasn't my reflection staring back at me. The face in the mirror was twisted, distorted, and wrong. It was a figure shrouded in shadows, its eyes glowing with an eerie light. Eyes that seemed to pierce through me, seeing into my very soul. And a chilling smile played on its lips, a smile that mirrored my own. A smile that spoke of secrets and darkness. The entity was still with me, closer than ever. I could feel its presence, a cold weight pressing down on me. And it had been there all along. Watching, waiting, and now it was ready to make its move.